Well, good day YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino beer review. Today you have the Rhino and we're drinking a beer, a collaboration beer, a 4-brewery collaboration beer. This is Coast to Coastline Imperial IPA, Imperial ESB. It says, "Greetings from Canada, Coast to Coastline." There's some writing on here that is really hard to read, but basically this is a brewery, a brewery collaboration from BC, Ontario, Quebec, and Nova Scotia. And you have Phillips Brewing Company in BC. You have the Flying Monkeys here in Ontario. You have Trou Diable in Quebec, and then you have Garrison Brewing in Nova Scotia. So an ESB, an Imperial ESB at that. What do we have here? Strong beer, 50 IBUs, 750 milliliters, 7.6 ABV. Now I don't know if they brewed a batch of this at each one of the 4 breweries, or if they collabed it in a whole collab thing. Oh wait, here it is. So Phillips Brewing gave the malt. Oh, sorry, no, Matt. Oh, okay, no, they're just giving me signatures. It looked like malt, and then I saw Peter for Flying Monkeys, and I'm like, oh, it's the owner's signatures. Okay, I'm an idiot. Yeah. Okay. So, going to grab my little gun here. It's actually a knife that a buddy of mine picked up for me. We're going to cut through the Flying Monkeys shit here so that we can drink our beer. At least this is a lot easier to get through than wax. I mean, it doesn't do the same thing as wax, but it is easier to get through. So the beer, $10 here, I believe. It was cheaper in Nova Scotia, but New Brunswick, and I would expect that it doesn't have to travel as far. There we go, guys. There we go. So there is the beer. And I know you might think that's the light playing on the head, and it is a little bit, but no, that head is brownish. Very beautiful, and the beer is red. So we got a ruby red beer, we got a nice sandy brown head, nice thick head, little snap, crackle, pop going on. Can you stop licking your dick while I'm doing this video, please? Please stop licking your dick while I do this video. Don't snort at me, just stop licking your dick. Smell. Oh yeah. That smells like candy. Like candy, guys. Lots of caramel. Lots of caramel, lots of molasses, lots of malt. Just huge candy smell. A huge candy smell. Don't go back to your dick. Don't wag your tail at me now. Just stop sucking. Stop showing off that you can reach your dick. Okay? Yes, I love you. Yes. Yeah, lots of caramel. Lots of molasses. Lots of malt. It smells like candy. Kind of reminds me of the Coca-Cola can. No, the root beer ones. Not the Coca-Cola, the root beer ones. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, they were little pop bottles. And you could get Coke flavored, you could get root beer flavored, and there was a couple others. But this kind of reminds me of the root beer flavored ones. Almost a touch of vanilla in there too. Oh, where's my... Anyway, let's try the beer. Cheers. Okay. So, with something from Phillips and from Flying Monkeys, I would expect a lot of hopping. And you do get that. This is probably the only ESB, Imperial or otherwise, that I've had in a long time that has a bitterness to it. And it has a very English bitterness to it. Even with Trou being in there and putting in a little French touch, it's still a very, very English bitter background. Very dirty, very earth pie-like, very earthy. Really, really mud pie-like, really mud pie-like. Is that a problem? Not particularly, but it is very mud pie-like. Forefront, lots of caramel, lots of caramel, lots of caramel, bit of malty sweetness. Very caramel, malty, and it doesn't last all that long though. I mean, the first sip, the caramel and the malt lasted longer, but that bitterness took over, and then in the second sip, you get a little bit of that sweetness, but the bitterness really took over. And there is a nice little biscuitiness in the background as well. I don't know, I've had a lot of beers from Phillips. Don't always like what they make, but I've had a lot of beers from them. I've had a lot of beers from Flying Monkeys, and I usually love what they do. Not all the time, but usually. I've had a bunch of beers from Garrison, thanks to Hoogley's beer reviews, so thank you very much, Lee. Again, I like a lot of their stuff, not always everything. And from Trou Diable, I've had like 3 or 4, and I don't know who I think this most represents, just thinking about it, like, who I think would be the most represented in the recipe. But if I had to guess, because of just how... See, that's hard. It's as hoppy as I would expect from something from Phillips or from Flying Monkeys, but it's a hop variety that I would more expect from Nova Scotia. And the style, well, you know what? I kind of would find the style to be something more Trou Diable stylistically wise. I mean, they usually, for everything I've had, I mean, I've had a Saison, I've had a brown ale, I've had a Belgian Golden, and I've had a oh, I can't even remember the other one, but it was another Belgian style. So I mean, they do those styles fairly, give those styles a good deal of justice. So, I mean, it's what I'd expect from all of them, really. It's kind of a mixture of all of them, which is weird. I mean, when you get a collab, you don't always get a mixture of every brewery, but this one seems to be a good candidate for a mixture from every... What the okay. If I had to say anything bad about it, it's that you can tell it's 7.6% alcohol. It does have a throat warming. It has a slightly astringent alcohol astringency. It has a slightly astringent taste. And no, this is my first beer of the night, so it's not that I'm drunk. I just can't talk. I've been up for like 25 hours. I'm trying to use this as my nightcap. Slight alcohol astringent taste, and you know what? I mean, I always talk about very, very dangerous beers, but sometimes it's nice to find a high ABV beer that actually lets you kind of know you're drinking a high ABV beer, so that you don't get stupid and drink like 6 or 7 of them and then die. I mean, there's so many even 10% alcohol beers that taste like they're 5 that sometimes I could do something stupid with them. So it's nice to find something like this that is 7.6 and tastes like it's 7.6, so that you know that you're drinking something a little higher in ABV. Also, the hoppiness does take over the back of your throat. I can't even talk anymore. It is kind of resiny in the fact that it does cover the back of the throat, and it does have a slight bit of that caffeine pill bitterness, but that's a lot of the dirt coming back up at you. Like, it's an interesting beer. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. I do enjoy it. I could drink it again, but for $10 a bottle, I most likely won't. But it is a nice beer, and a beer that any beer drinker that wants to actually have an ESB, that it has that B part of it, should go out and try. So thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful and splendiferous evening. Bye-bye. Oh, can I reach? Can I reach?